Welcome to Live Interactive English, everybody. Hello, I am Mike.
And I am Kiki.
Ooh, I forgot, Kiki. We should say hola, buenos dias. Yo soy Miguel. Como? That's all. I don't, my Spanish.
Miguel.
I'm Miguel, Michael.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm translating my name too, along with speaking a tiny amount of Spanish, because my Spanish is muy not bien, not very good. But we are going to be talking about Spain, which is a wonderful country, a beautiful country, and a very popular country to vacation or holiday in. When I say Spain to you, Kiki, what images, what things, what sort of sights and sounds come to your mind?
I think about test days at the circuit.
Racing cars. Well, actually, they have a Grand Prix in Spain.
That's right.
Where do they have the Grand Prix in Spain? Because it's quite a large country.
Well, they have it in Barcelona.
In Barcelona. Okay, so when we think of Barcelona, of course, many images will come to mind, like that crazy cathedral, La Sagrada Familia, the wonderful art that comes from there, from Dali and Miro, and of course Picasso, I believe, was born in that area. But no, we're not going to be talking about Barcelona, which is up in the northeast of the country. Today, we're going to be visiting a city that probably doesn't get quite as much attention as it should, because it's the capital of the country, and it's bang right there in the middle. We're talking about Madrid.
Well, they have a great soccer team.
They do. They have a great soccer team, one of the best in the world these days. But apart from that, what else can you tell me about Madrid?
I'm guessing food?
Food? I'm thinking the president lives there because it's the capital, but that's about all I know. So it's time to learn more. Let's go and have a taste of Madrid, discovering the heart, or la corazón, of Spain. Madrid is Spain's exciting capital and is famous for its long history, artistic traditions, and of course, delicious food. Tourists from around the world come to walk through squares and centuries-old buildings in the sunshine. It's no wonder millions of them fall in love with the city every year. One of Madrid's greatest treasures is the Prado Museum. Inside its grand halls, the museum offers an in-depth look at Spain's most celebrated artists. Highlights include Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez and The Black Paintings by Francisco Goya. Along with these Spanish masterpieces, the works of numerous other European painters also decorate the walls of this historic gallery. The art on display throughout the museum largely comes from Spanish royal collections.
Welcome to day one of our article, A Taste of Madrid, Discovering the Heart of Spain.
Yes, indeed. We are in Spain. We are in the capital of Madrid. And as it says in our starting sentence here, Madrid is Spain's exciting capital and is famous for its long history, artistic traditions, and of course, delicious food. And no, I didn't write that sentence, but already I am very interested in going to Madrid. I would like to know about its long history, its artistic traditions, and yes, I would definitely like to try its delicious food. But let's start with one of those other things in that list, the artistic traditions. When we talk about things being artistic, this is an adjective about things that are about art. Yes, exactly. An artist is a person who does art. Traditionally, you might think of painters, but we could also think of singers, dancers, writers, poets. These are all artistic people who do different types of art. So you could say, oh, my friend is very artistic. They like to take photographs and do paintings and they write songs. Or you can also visit places to enjoy their artistic traditions and their artistic histories, the history of art in that place or that country. For example, Greta's drawings show great artistic skill. They're not just interesting drawings. They're not just drawings that give information. They're drawings that make you feel something like good art should.
Okay, well, let's see. What can you do when you're in Madrid?
I don't know. Tell me.
Tourists from around the world come to walk through squares and centuries-old buildings in the sunshine. It's no wonder millions of them fall in love with the city every year. So lots of visitors come to enjoy the sun, the good weather, and of course, there are lots of very old buildings that they can look at and learn about.
Yeah, and maybe you won't even want to go home. Maybe you will be like one of the millions who fall in love with the city. And I imagine for people from Taiwan, the weather there shouldn't be too hard to accept. It can get very hot in the summer. But of course, we're from a country where it gets very hot in the summer. But if it does get a little too warm for you, it says one of Madrid's greatest treasures is the Prado Museum. Now, I've never been there, but I'm betting that they have wonderful air conditioning and comfortable benches, and you can sit there surrounded by beautiful 100-year-old art. It would be a great place to get some culture, see some of these artistic traditions, and also cool off. It says inside its grand halls, the museum offers an in-depth look at Spain's most celebrated artists. Well, that sounds wonderful, and this is one of those world museums. You know, people talk about the Louvre in France or the Met in New York, and the Prado in Madrid is one of the top 5 museums for art. So it's definitely a place you want to check out, and it's got air conditioning. Now let's go over to Hanny. She's a pretty cool cat. We'll see what she has to say, and then we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这次要介绍的旅游地点是西班牙的首都马德里 （Madrid）。马德里以悠久的历史、艺术传统跟美食而闻名。来到这边，你可以在阳光下漫步在广场和百年历史建筑之间，难怪每年有数百万游客爱上这座城市。好，单字 artistic 它是形容艺术的、有艺术天赋的。这边还有一个重点是。It is no wonder 加上 that 子句可以表达难怪怎么样，什么什么不足为奇。No wonder 表示难怪，那么 it 是虚主词，用来代替 that 子句。其实这个 it is 和 that 都可以省略。例如 Henry exercises every morning. No wonder he stays in shape. Henry 每天早上运动，难怪他能维持身体强健。好，那我们继续回到课文中。
And what would we see if we're in the Prado? Well, as we get back to the article, we are in that great Madrid museum. And yes, wonderful paintings is what we will see, but we get a bit of help from the article. It says highlights include Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez and the Black Paintings by Francisco Goya. Now, I've heard of Goya, but I don't know the black paintings. Hopefully, it's more than just black. I would be a little disappointed by that.
For some reason, that's also what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, I think there's probably a bit more. But his paintings were well known for being very dark. But I think there's more than just black in the painting.
Well, back to the article. Along with these Spanish masterpieces, the works of numerous other European painters also decorate the walls of this historic gallery. So when you go to the Prado, you're not only enjoying the art by Spanish painters.
Sure, of course.
There are painters from all over Europe.
Okay, and not just a few painters or paintings, numerous ones.
That's right. So here we have the adjective numerous, which means many, to have a lot of something. So when you go there and you see numerous paintings, you're not just seeing one painting, you might see more than 10, more than 50. So it's a lot to have a great number of something. An example sentence would be, Kevin made numerous mistakes throughout his essay.
Many mistakes. And yeah, numerous and many can pretty much be used in exactly the same way. And yes, of course, we're talking about the Prado, which is a famous art gallery in the city of Madrid. A gallery is a place where you go to see art, usually visual art, things like paintings or sculptures, things you hang on the wall, things you look at. So it's not a place where you'll see concerts concerts or listen to music. It's a place mainly designed for art. Now, it could be a really big art gallery, kind of like a museum or something like that. It's probably run by the government. It's filled with paintings that are very expensive from hundreds of years ago, and they are not for sale. Or it could be a small private gallery where they actually have art by artists that you can buy. So this word is used in a lot of different ways, but whatever it is, you're going to see art and you're going to be looking at paintings and sculptures and things like that. There are many famous galleries in Paris. There are indeed. If you like art, Paris, just before Madrid, maybe, is the place to go. Back to our article. It says the art on display throughout the museum largely comes from Spanish royal collections. Well, that's very nice of the king or queen, I think it's the king of Spain, to let us see his art. Yes, Spain does have a king, just like Britain does. Not quite as famous, maybe, as
very handsome.
Very handsome. He's quite a young guy, right? Not quite as famous, maybe, as the king from England, from Britain, but still, yes, they have a royal family, and that is the royal collection. How cool. All right, let's go over to our queen of grammar and vocabulary, Queen Hanny.
课文介绍了普拉多博物馆，那除了有西班牙画家的精彩画作，也可以看到许多其他欧洲画家的作品。而博物馆里面展出的艺术品大多是来自西班牙皇室的收藏。好，单字 numerous 它是形容许多的、大量的 ，gallery 则是指陈列馆、画廊或是艺廊。好，这边有一个重点是 along with 的意思。首先第一个它可以表达除了点点点之外还有什么，就跟 in addition to。Besides 或是 beyond 意思相近，例如 Along with the dress, I also bought a scarf. 除了洋装之外，我还买了一条围巾。那第二个可以用它来表达连同以及，就跟 together with 意思相同。当结构是 A 逗号 along with B 的时候，动词要搭配 A 来做变化。例如 Amy, along with her husband and children, is traveling to Japan next month. Amy 以及她的丈夫和小孩下个月将前往日本旅行。那我们接回课文中。
Okay, so we've learned about what we can do artistically in Madrid.
That's right, and I've cooled off in the gallery's air conditioning. Thank you, yes.
But there's more to our article.
There's so much more.
Right, so let's go to part 2, and we'll be right back.
Just a short walk away, the Royal Palace of Madrid is an incredible sight. The huge palace towers above the city with its white stone walls and perfectly kept gardens. Today, official events are still held there, and visitors are welcomed into rooms once reserved for kings. The palace has witnessed Spanish history through the ages, and is a symbol of the great wealth and power its royals held in the past. All right, so we've been enjoying the Prado, which is, of course, the famous art gallery in Madrid, filled with priceless art from hundreds of years ago, a lot of it owned by the royal family of Spain. So, what do you say, Kiki? Let's go over and say thank you to the royal family for all of that wonderful art and the lovely air conditioning I was enjoying.
Right, because how perfect. They are just a short walk away.
Right over there.
The Royal Palace of Madrid is an incredible sight.
Hi, King. Hi, Queen.
Here we have the adjective incredible, which means something that's so extraordinary to see. It's so wonderful. Sometimes it's unbelievable. Okay, so you use it to describe something that you think might look really beautiful, or you just can't believe, what you're seeing. So an example sentence would be, I took some incredible pictures during my trip.
Ooh, fantastic, wonderful, and amazing pictures. I can't wait to see them. So the Royal Palace, what's it like? Well, it's big, I'm guessing. It says the huge palace towers above the city with its white stone walls and perfectly kept gardens. You can't really have a small palace.
No.
It's got to be big. It's huge in this case, which means really, really big. And it towers over above the city. So it's either on a hill or it's very tall or something like that. White stone walls and perfectly kept gardens. Do you think we're allowed to go in the gardens? That would be nice to walk around in, but maybe the queen or the king are enjoying a picnic. Maybe we're not allowed in. Who knows? Let's go over to Hanny one more time. She has so much to tell us.
下一站，我们来到马德里王宫。那这座巨大的宫殿以白色石墙和完美维护的花园高耸于城市之上，是一个令人难以置信的景象。那么单字 incredible 就是形容令人难以置信的或是极好的，而文中用到 perfectly kept gardens 来表达完美维护的花园。kept 是 keep 的过去分词当形容词，表达是被人维护的。我们接话课文中。
All right, the Royal Palace. How exciting. Well, we're not sure about the gardens. Maybe you can visit them at different times, but the palace is actually used for public events quite a lot. It's not just the private home of the king and the royal family, so that's nice. It says today, official events are still held there and visitors are welcomed into rooms once reserved for kings. Wouldn't that be special? Not sure if they do tours, but these official events, these would be like, when someone important is visiting Spain. Hey, maybe when that soccer team, Real Madrid, when they win a big trophy, they get invited there to meet the king and, do things like that. And I guess as a guest at some point you will be able to visit and to look around other parts of the palace, these rooms that were once reserved for kings and queens and princes and princesses. When something is reserved, it's something that we have and we're kind of putting it to the side so that a certain person can use it. When you reserve something, this might be something you've done on a holiday or when you're trying to go out for dinner on a Saturday night when it might be really popular and busy, you call ahead, they put something aside, we'll keep a table, we'll keep a room, that kind of thing. And we can also just use it to talk about things that you don't use all the time. Your mom might have some special plates. These are reserved for when grandma comes over for dinner. If you're eating a sandwich while watching TV, use that plate. Don't use the fancy, nice ones. They're kept aside for a special purpose or a special reason or maybe a special person. Like it says, the toilets in the restaurant are reserved for customers only. Anyone can't use them. You can't walk in off the street. You have to be paying for food. And that way you're allowed also to use the toilets.
Okay, let's learn a bit more about the palace.
Yeah.
The palace has witnessed Spanish history through the ages and is a symbol of the great wealth and power its royals held in the past.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we have a verb, witness. When you witness something, you have seen something happen. You have watched something happen. So sometimes when you say, I witnessed a car crash. I witnessed an accident.
You were actually there and saw it happen.
That's right.
Wow.
So an example sentence here is, Will witnessed a strange event last night.
He saw something weird. And of course, we can also use it for things that aren't alive, right? We talked about how the palace witnessed. That's just kind of saying that palace, that building, that place, it was there long ago when important things happened. Like Times Square in New York has witnessed many New Year's Eve celebrations going back a long time. Times Square is not a person with eyes, but it was there that those things happened, and it's still there today. Just like our good friend Hanny, she has witnessed so many wonderful moments in vocabulary and grammar.
马德里王宫到现在还是会举办官方活动，游客也能进入参观曾经专属于国王的房间。那这座宫殿就见证了西班牙各个时期、各个时代的历史，也是过去皇室的巨大财富跟权力的象征。好，单字 reserve 它是动词，表示把什么专门留给或者是保留，它也有预约的意思。那么 witness 这个动词则表示见证、目击。好，我们接着回到课文中。
Well, Mike, we've seen art.
We have.
We've learned about the royal palace.
We did that too.
What about the food?
I know. We've done the history, we've done the artistic stuff, but my tummy is empty of Spanish food. But we will fix that tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait till then. But come back and join us tomorrow because we will be eating Spanish food and it will be great. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Madrid is Spain's exciting capital and is famous for its long history, artistic traditions, and of course, delicious food. Tourists from around the world come to walk through squares and centuries-old buildings in the sunshine. It's no wonder millions of them fall in love with the city every year. One of Madrid's greatest treasures is the Prado Museum. Inside its grand halls, the museum offers an in-depth look at Spain's most celebrated artists. Highlights include Las Meninas by Diego Velázquez and The Black Paintings by Francisco Goya. Along with these Spanish masterpieces, the works of numerous other European painters also decorate the walls of this historic gallery. The art on display throughout the museum largely comes from Spanish royal collections. Just a short walk away, the Royal Palace of Madrid is an incredible sight. The huge palace towers above the city with its white stone walls and perfectly kept gardens. Today, official events are still held there, and visitors are welcomed into rooms once reserved for kings. The palace has witnessed Spanish history through the ages and is a symbol of the great wealth and power its royals held in the past.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。那单字的部分有 artistic 是形容艺术的，有艺术天赋的 ；numerous 是形容许多的、大量的。再看到 gallery 是名词，它表示陈列馆、画廊或艺廊。Incredible 形容令人难以置信的、极好的。Reserve 动词，它表示把什么专门留给、保留或是有预约的意思。Witness动词，它则是表达见证、目击。文法的部分，我们第一个学到 It is no wonder that 主词加动词，这是表达难怪怎么样，什么什么不足为奇。第二个学到 along with 的意思，它可以表达除了什么什么之外还有什么，也可以表达连同以及。那当结构是 A 逗号 along with B 的时候，动词就要搭配 A 来做变化。好，那以上今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
So, Karen, I'm booking the resort for our group vacation and need to confirm the head count. So, what's your final call? Are you in?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. So, is it a yes or no?
Kind of both. Yes and no just means that I can't give you a clear answer right now. So it's another way of saying maybe.
Well, why maybe? What's holding you back?
Well, I love to join. I miss everyone, but I don't know if I'll be busy around that time. So it's okay to count me out for now, but I'll keep you updated.
Hi, everyone. Today we're discussing the expression yes and no.
Right. Yes and no is used when something isn't entirely one way or another. It's a way of saying that the answer is not clear-cut.
People often use it when they have mixed feelings about something and can't take a clear side.
For instance, if someone asks if a movie is good and you only liked parts of it, you might respond with yes and no.
The phrase is also commonly used when talking about the future, especially when things are still uncertain or undecided.
For example, when asked if he was planning to retire soon, the actor gave a yes and no answer.
Or when questioned about running for office again, the politician responded with a yes and no.
So next time you're in a situation where the answer isn't just black or white, feel free to use yes and no to express that uncertainty.
And that's all for today.
See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.